ここからは現地と電話で結び市場関係者の見方を聞いていきます。今日話を伺うのはザックインベストメントのチーフ投資ストラテジストジョン・ブランクさんです。今日ダウ平均をはじめ主要産指数を大きく下げました。このあたり詳しく聞いていきます。Hello, Mr. Blanc. Thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here, Naoko.
Thank you. So first of all, would you share your overview on today's U.S. market?
I will. It was not a good day, Naoko. We had 724-point decline in the Dow that almost reached 3%. The S&P 500 was down 2.5%. The NASDAQ was down the least, which was not good either, which is 2.4%. The big news in that mix was things like the big industrial companies that have an international exposure. Boeing, ticker BA, was down over 5%, and that was kind of the story here, is that the Trump announcements of tariffs on 25% of Chinese good at $50 billion just went over like a ton of bricks, and the sell-off was largely attributed to that, although we did have a nice mechanical move in the last hour that closed things up too.
See. 今日の、ニューヨーク市場ですけれども、もう大幅に下げてしまったと。主要産指数はすべて軒並み、2% 以上、S&P500 が 2.5%、ナスダックが一番良かったとはいえ、それでも 2.4% も下げたというふうにおっしゃっています。これ背景はもうすべて今日トランプ大統領が発表した、中国に対する制裁措置、500億ドルを超える中国製品への関税措置というのがもうこの理由のすべてだというふうにおっしゃっています。それでは昨日ですが、FOMC がありました。FOMC の直後ですけれども、ニューヨークダウをはじめ、主要産指数大きく下げる場面がありました。これ背景は何なのでしょうか。そしてこの後半に大きく下げるという動き、ある意味今日も見られたように見えます。このパターンの背景というのをどのようにご覧になっているのかというあたりをお聞きしていきたいと思います。So, right after the FOMC outcome yesterday, U.S. equity market we saw the U.S. equity market moving sort of like a yo-yo movement. And in the last trading hours, it sell off largely. And in a sense, this is a big sell-off in the last hour of the trading was seen today as well. What is this explanation for this move, equity market?
Okay, this last hour of trading is showing us that there is some robotic, let's call it coding, computer coding, or if you want a different word, algorithms. But the basic idea is there's a machine logic that's been embedded into not only the equity markets, but the asset allocation markets across equities, bonds, and probably CD rates. Because of the FOMC meeting, the CD rate is now over 2% in the United States, which means you can move into just pure cash accounts for the first time in years and get over 2%. So what's going on here is what happens is a machine trade called risk parity, and I'll repeat that so everyone can hear it. It's called risk parity. And what that means is you're trying to manage your overall risk in your portfolio and keep it down as low as possible. So on a day like today, when volatility is so high, and just to give you a number, this was a VIX volatility number day of 23. Back in the early February, we had a 40. So this is halfway down, and we're still not down where we were last year, which was around the 10th. So what's happening is we're getting a lot of noise and volatility in these markets. That causes the risk parity to leap for holding onto stocks. And people are getting out of stocks in these machines and dumping them into either CDs or fixed incomes. So you're seeing the same thing happen in the 10-year Treasury rate, which is it plunges, which means people are piling into Treasuries, raising their price and lowering their yield. So what you're seeing in the last hour is this logic playing out on the basis of what's happened earlier in the day, and it's called risk parity.
I see. この背景にあるのはリスクパリティの動きだというふうにおっしゃっています。つまりこれ何かというと、コンピューターによるトレーディング、アルゴリズムに組み込まれた、ビックス指数などに連動した形の株式だけではなく債券市場、その他の市場を含めたこの資産のアロケーションの配分が最後の1時間にわっと出てしまうというような形でプログラムが組まれているため、こういった状況が出てしまうというふうにおっしゃっています。例えば昨日ですと、アメリカの長期金利が大きく上げたというこの条件がアルゴリズムの中に組み込まれることで 2%、それはいいねという形で、その株式の資産が株式に流れていたお金がそちらの方に転じてしまう。そういった売りの動きというのが株式市場に大きく影響しているのではないかというふうにおっしゃっています。このビックス指数ですけれども、調整局面だった時には40だったと。ただ、現状今20ポイント近辺になっていて、このビックス指数と連動しているもの、これが、このアルゴリズムの中でどういうふうに組み込まれているかによって、この一番最後の、市場の取引、大引けに向けたその一番最後の1時間というところに影響していくのではないかというふうにおっしゃっています。
So have that said, what's your hypothesis for what happened yesterday and today?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was different than today in terms of its headline catalyst. Yesterday, obviously, from the United States perspective, we had Jerome Powell's first Fed meeting, and he deferred largely to the committee in his statements. He was very consistent with what was the economic projections that they handed out to the market. So that caused the tone of the market to be entirely different yesterday than it was today, which was more from the administration itself and their announcement of the $50 billion in pending Chinese tariffs, largely on intellectual property-related flows into the United States, things that are like chips, robotics, and other things that are higher end, and the worry is that China is acquiring this intellectual property and is likely to win the next stage of the industrial revolution that's happening in the infotech space. So this was a very different scenarios, but the risk that was seen, the risk parity is coming from two directions, a push and a pull. It's being pushed out of the higher risk that's being seen in the equity markets, and people are taking profits on the Nasdaq, particularly the tech stocks, and getting them out of the way, getting the risk off the table, putting the profits away. And there's the pull of the higher interest rates that came out of yesterday. So today and yesterday, they both had catalysts in U.S. policy, but they came from very different sources.
See. まず昨日についてはこのリスクパリティのまず材料となったのは FOMC、 そして FOMC が発表したこの景気の見通しをこの市場がどういうふうに理解したのか、そして今日についてはもう圧倒的に先ほども言ったようにトランプ大統領が中国、特にこの知的財産権の問題を背景にしてこの中国に制裁をするというところが材料になって起きたことだと。ただこのリスクパリティというのは市場に流れている全体の資産のうちどこにあるものがどこに流れるか、例えばナスダックを例に挙げてみると、ナスダックで利益確定をしたこの資金が一体次はどこに行くのか、こういった動きによってこの指数が動いていくということになっていくというふうにおっしゃっています。それでは長期に見たときですが、この昨日 FOMC が発表した3回の利上げ、2018年3回の利上げというのは株式市場今後どのような影響を与えていくのでしょうか。
So let us going back to the FOMC decision yesterday. How did this Fed decision for 25 basis point rate hike and it's forecasted 3 rate hikes in 2018 possibly impact to the impact on the 2018 equity market?
Good question. First of all, I'll focus my thoughts on the 2018 equity market fundamentals that were buried in the Fed projections, because the rate hike was coming because of their belief that economic growth in the United States had picked up from the December meeting to the March meeting. And what they mean by that in specific terms was they thought GDP growth for 2018 is no longer 2.5%, it might be 2.7%. And in 2019, instead of 2.1%, they're still at 2.4%. So it's adding growth, and it's coming from the tax and fiscal spending project of this government that we've elected. And people are believing that this is going to add growth, not into the three-handle number, but into the high twos. And that is for the next 2 years. And this is where the Fed is concerned about overheating, and that's why they took up the 25 basis point hike. The other thing, though, was there is a concept that people should be aware of called the neutral rate, which is where they're going to end up. And that moved from 2.8 to 2.9. Now, why that's relevant is that is what's pegging the 10-year U.S. Treasury rate, which is where real investment decisions in the United States are really hung from. So what we have here is a 2.8 or 2.9% Treasury rate for the next year or so. And then we're going to find out if Jerome Powell really has this right from a long-term perspective, and he doesn't grind this economy down too much with his rate hikes.
See. この、昨日 FOMC が決定した 0.25% の、引き上げですが、これが、何を指し示しているかというと FRB、FOMC の委員たちがアメリカの景気が今後も堅調に推移していく、成長基調を続けていくということの、裏返しだというふうにおっしゃっています。例えば2019年の GDP が 2.1% から 2.4% に、この見通し引き上げられたこと、こちら妥当だというふうにお考えになっているようですし、2019年に、失礼しました。インフレ率に関しては変化はなかったけれども、長期もしくは2019年中頃の中立 FF 金利は 2.8 から 2.9% に引き上げられていると。つまりは、この FOMC でのレート金利の引き上げというのは、FRB のメンバーが、FOMC のメンバーがアメリカの景気をどう見ているかということの裏返しだということを理解する一方で、この金融政策の引き締め、今後、ジェロム・パウエルさんが率いていくこの FOMC、この FOMC が決定する金融政策の引き締めが行き過ぎないかどうかというところには注目していく必要があるというふうにおっしゃっています。So lastly, under the circumstances, there are so much political issue going on in the United States, and also the rate hike was done again. What is the thing that a Japanese investor need to keep their eye on?
This is the question, Nahoko, that your audience really needs to understand, is that our politics is driving your Japanese yen to be stronger. And what's going on here is people talk about the weak dollar, but in truth, what it is a safe haven flow into the Japanese yen that's dominating and proxying for the entire uncertainty and fear that's out there in the capital markets. So the bottom line is the Japanese yen is seen as where you put park money, much like the 10-year Treasury in the United States is. It's liquid, it's deep, and it's considered safe. So right now, today, we saw 105 on the Japanese yen. Back in January the 1st, we were at 113. So there's been a 6-7% move in strengthening of the Japanese yen versus the U.S. dollar, which is a form of a tariff in its own right. So I don't think it's over. I think a 100 on the yen, if this uncertainty persists, is a possibility. And the counterpoint is that if the yen moves up, you can think of it as that's taking some of the uncertainty out of what's actually happening in the United States. So watch the Japanese yen as a proxy for how much fear is being generated in the U.S. with these trade and tariff policies.
このアメリカでの政治の不透明感がある意味最も影響を与えるのが日本円、ドル円相場だというふうにおっしゃっています。つまり円がセーフヘイブンに、使われていること、アメリカ国内だけで見ると、アメリカの10年債というのがその役割を果たすわけだけれども、全体の資産のアロケーションを考えた場合、円に資産を逃避させるという行動が起きている。それがつまり今日のドル円相場105円 台まで、円が上昇した背景にあるというふうにおっしゃっています。で、この先の見通しですけれども、可能性としては1ドル100円程度ぐらいまで行く可能性も否定できないと。ただよく考えてみると、この1月1日の段階では1ドル113円だったわけなので、この円高かなり進んでいる。つまりはこの円の動き、注目していくことで、アメリカの不透明感だとか、世界の情勢の不透明感を市場がどう捉えているのかというのを理解するのにつながっていくというふうにおっしゃっています。Thank you, Mr. Blank, for joining us today. Looking forward to have you back again.
Thank you, Naoko.
Thank you.